So, we have a very important video today. I think it's important because today we are going to be naming our top 5 favorite rides at both Disneyland proper and California Adventure.
Disneyland proper?
It's really like California Adventure is still Disneyland, but you don't call it that. Just like how Disney World is Disney World, you just don't call each individual park, or you call each individual park by its name.
Okay.
So, Disneyland and California Adventure. Would you like to start?
Are we starting Disneyland first or California Adventure?
Either. I would say, do you have any honorable mentions?
No. Do you?
Yes, I do. I want to honorable mention Big Thunder, Space Mountain, the Incredicoaster, Midway Mania, and Snow White. Ooh. I was gonna say Casey Jr., but
I was gonna say.
Last one is Casey Jr. So, let's start with Disneyland.
Top 5, starting from 1 or going to 5?
5 to 1.
I'd say Alice in Wonderland.
Really?
Why is that higher up for you?
No, that would be an honorable mention as well. I do love that ride, especially because you make it so special. But I don't know, like, if the line is above 30 minutes, I'm not sacrificing my time to ride it, especially since the queue is so small. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I don't think for 40 plus minutes it's worth it. That there's not very many rides I would say a 40-minute wait would be worth it for.
Well, I just like that it's a dark ride.
Right.
It's longer than most of the dark rides. Isn't it the longest one of the dark rides, I think?
Well, technically, Haunted Mansion is a dark ride.
No, okay.
So, no. But you mean of like the Fantasyland dark rides?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite movies, and I like the vibrant colors, so.
Yeah, I think Alice in Wonderland is a great pick. Honestly, it did not cross my mind. So 5 for me at Disneyland would be... That's so tough. So my number 5 is going to be Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. This ride, ever since I was a kid, it's been a ride I have to ride or I didn't have a good day at Disneyland. Especially when it, like, I don't know, for the most recent time that we went, it was really crowded. It was at 110 minutes. That was like the highest I'd ever seen it. But usually on like even a busy day, it doesn't go above like 60. And I always think it's worth it to wait in the line and or get a fast pass. That ride is, I don't know, it's something else. It's unique to the park because it's, I don't know, it's different. And it kind of fits in its little piece of the puzzle. Would you say?
I didn't even say anything.
No, I'm just like asking for
your... would you say? What'd you say?
Would you say if it like fits in Adventureland, but it doesn't stick out too much? Because it's really not a, I don't know, a Disney like thing, but it kind of like sneaks itself in there, and I really like it. The queue is very well themed. Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
You said it's not really a Disney thing. I don't understand.
Okay, Disney has the Jungle Cruise. It has Tarzan's Treehouse. It's got the Tropical Hideaway and the Tiki Room right next to it. And then it's just Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but it's all about like adventure. That's what Adventureland is.
Obviously, but I mean, it's not like a Disney IP. But it doesn't feel out of place.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Number 4! Number 4 for me has to be probably Splash Mountain. I have so many memories on that ride with you. I think that were hilarious. I've always loved that ride. I love water rides. But the last 2 times that we went on and we both got soaked like crazy, they were hilarious. That will always and forever be memorable.
I hate walking off of that ride and going. I hate it, especially like, I don't know, when it's cold or at the night. At nighttime is the best time to go because all the lights are like on in the park and the sky's like dark. but when you walk off the ride and you have like 3 hours left and you can't get dry because it's cold.
Yeah, we were freezing. We went in the winter time.
Yeah.
And I was shivering, like my hands were turning blue. It was bad.
It was really bad. But I would say Splash is up there, not at 4 for me. It's definitely a lot higher, but I like the memories we have. They make me smile.
Your turn.
Number 4 for me is Rise of the Resistance.
What?
I'm not gonna say it's my favorite ride because it's obviously not, but that ride, it like mechanically and just from an Imagineer's perspective, that ride is the future of what theme parks will be.
Mine's higher, that's why I said what.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's not a really good ride. It is a really, really good ride. Just for me, it doesn't hold a lot of significance yet. You've rode it twice. 3 times? Twice. And I've only ridden it once. So I didn't get to see absolutely everything. I couldn't like pick out details that I liked. For the first ride through that I went, it was extreme. It was like riding Forbidden Journey at Universal for the first time. It was kind of like, this is what I expected theme park rides to be like 10 years ago, and now they're just coming out with it, and it's like a, I don't know, kid in a candy store. I'm like, everything's so cool. So that would be my number 4.
Number 3 has to be for me, I'll say Rise for me. So 1, love this ride because I'm a Star Wars fan. 2, I like the way they did add different animatronics that had very lifelike movements. Like it was pretty spot on.
Like Kylo Ren?
Like Kylo Ren, but also Finn. I don't know if you caught Finn.
Yeah.
Finn is where the AT-ATs are, but he's like on the floor, like tucked
so
away.
He has 2 sides. Depends on what side you're on. On one side, he could be behind the wall, kind of facing away from the AT-ATs, and he's like standing on the wall in his stormtrooper armor. I think that's both of them.
Yeah, he has his
But on the other side, he's sitting.
He's like laying on the floor.
Yeah, he's like on the floor. So I think that's really unique to the ride, is that they give you 2 different perspectives, but it doesn't change like drastically. So you don't have to get up at 7 in the morning 2 days in a row and try and get into the park to see both sides. It's kind of like, this one is slightly different, but it's the same ride experience. I like that.
But I also like that they make you feel so small, like you're in this massive spaceship. Because like even with the AT-ATs, like you're underneath them and you pass through their legs, and then you know when you're passing through the guns, the whole like the recoil and stuff, it's kind of like, whoa, that's like huge.
Yeah, and the screen work they do in there, they do a really good job of blending the screens with the practical effects, which I think Universal kind of lacks. Is most of their rides are just screens, and I really appreciate that Disney went the extra mile and gave us the Kylo Ren animatronic because it moves so fluid. And then I like the attention to detail a little bit.
And then I think my last favorite part on that ride is when you go out in the escape pod.
Oh yeah.
And like you go, but then you like drop. It was like a free fall, kind of like Tower of Terror too, but Guardians of the Galaxy. You're kind of like, what in the world? Like, did not expect that.
Yeah, but on to number 3 for me, I would say Mr. Toad.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride because it's so special between us.
Oh, it's the first ride we went on together.
Yeah, and I like being a goofball, and we make jokes about it all the time, like going to hell with each other. The first day that we had met.
Are you driving the car?
Yeah, when I like to do drifts and stuff and just act goofy. It's, you know, Disneyland's a place I think a lot of people can like connect with each other because you don't have to put up a front or be who you think somebody wants you to be. Like, you can just be you, and clearly it worked out.
I just think what is interesting to me about Mr. Toad's is the way they haven't changed the inside queue.
Yeah.
So it's very narrow back before America became obese. So that's just like, I don't know, it's funny to me. Every time I go, I'm like, oh my god, we got fat.
Well, I don't know. The ride holds a special place in my heart thanks to you. So.
Number 2 for me is Haunted Mansion.
Nice.
Because I love Haunted Mansion, but I also like the Christmas layover with Nightmare Before Christmas. So
yeah,
lots of memories on there too. Also learning fun facts from you, like the the spider web
Mm-hmm.
in the dining room scene, or I don't know, you just told me lots of different facts about it that I didn't know, and then just funny moments like when your arm got stuck.
Oh yeah, that was awful.
So small story to that. So we were, you know how the little lap bars come down? Cody had a water bottle in his hands, and the lap bar came and pushed his arm against the back of the buggy, and his hand was stuck, and he was like, my arm's stuck. And I was like, why don't you just push it down, you know? And he was like, I can't. So I forced his hand down, and he like almost broke his arm, but it was hilarious. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize how stuck it was.
Yeah, like I tried moving it and I was stuck because you can't push it or pull it. They do it like the ride vehicle does it for itself. So my arm was right here, I guess on this side it was right here, and it pushed against, and I didn't notice until I tried to move it down and I couldn't. And then Aaliyah goes, why don't you just push your arm down? I was like, I physically can't. And then, yeah, we got unstuck. It hurt, but I don't know. I like telling her about, like, obviously she knew about the Pepper's Ghost effect, but I like to kind of mention, like, how well it's done and how much it took. Like, to replace that piece of glass that the spider web is on, they would have to take the entire roof off of the show building and replace that big piece of glass, and instead of just, you know, going way over budget and being like, yeah, fix it, they were like, we'll put a spider web, and we'll just, you know, we'll run with it. And it's a little kind of hidden secret. I know a lot of people know about it, but she didn't. So I like mentioning stuff like that to her. Also with like one of the bat heads on the rails when you're walking up to the Omni Mover, and it's, you know, it's kind of smoothed over because so many people rub their hands over it. I like mentioning stuff like that. It's pretty cool to me. I don't know. Okay,
what's your number 2?
So number 2 for me,
you may get disowned, be careful,
is also Haunted Mansion.
Oh my god.
I really like racked my brain.
I was gonna want to know what your number 1 is now.
Number 2 is also tied with Splash Mountain. So I could not decide between those two. Haunted Mansion is one of the like greatest things my eyes have ever laid upon. And it's such a unique experience. Splash Mountain, classic ride. I love that ride. I'm torn because I'm not against Tiana and the Princess and the Frog ride being Splash Mountain. What I am torn against is like I just don't know how they're going to fill all of that space with the interactions between Brer Fox and Brer Bear, in between, you know, all the storks and the frogs. There's so much space in there, and I don't feel like there's enough characters that can really, you know, fill that. I mean, yeah, we have Naveen, Tiana, we have Louie, we have Ray, and we have Dr. Facilier.
Maybe they're gonna put Tiana's friend in there to name.
I don't remember her name or the dad's
Lottie.
name. Lottie. I just don't feel like there's enough to kind of justify them switching it. Again, if they mess it up, it's gonna ruin the whole thing. Like, they have to nail it, and they have to get it like exactly correct.
Honestly, I think it'll make it up to me if they do. Like, everybody's been speculating / suggesting like when you're going to go over the waterfall, do the whole like, oh, you ready?
Yeah,
that would be sick.
That would be sick. So
number 1. You know what my favorite ride is?
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Is it Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that your favorite ride?
It is my number 1 as well.
I don't know. I love pirates so much. Like, if they're my favorite movie franchise, one of my favorite movie franchises. No, I can't say it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites.
I was like, really? You're just gonna knock Star Wars
out
of there?
I messed up. No, one of my favorite movie franchises. I don't know, that ride. I just love everything about it. They really put you in that like pirate era, you know, with
the smell.
Yeah, the smell.
They knock it out of the park with when you go through the queue. As soon as you step under that bridge, it's like you're transported, even though it's like, it's not really an extensive queue. They really like transport you.
Yeah, and then I don't know, all the little animatronics, even though most of them are pretty old and like don't really move smoothly, like they're just great. Yes, they've added Johnny Depp's version of Jack Sparrow in there now, which is pretty cool. I think back when it was first released, everybody was like, wow, it's so realistic. Now looking at it, it really doesn't look that realistic compared to other things that we're seeing come out now.
Yeah,
but I still think it's like really cool.
Yeah, what I like is that ever since I was a kid, I was like fascinated with being a pirate. I realize now that like pirates are disgusting, and they don't clean themselves. There's no hygiene, and it just was not a good life to live. But imagining and putting yourself in that kind of era, it's really cool historical wise, and then Disney's rendition on it is amazing.
I just hate that they've upgraded the ride in the way that they like try to take out sexism and stuff, like with the women chasing the men now instead of the men chasing the women. Like, that's the way the world works. Like, I know it's not ideal, but that's what like pirates is like. That's the way they are. And
our take on this is not like,
I'm not saying it's okay for people to get drunk and go chasing women and be abusive and stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I just think that, you should not be sensitizing things for kids. Like, kids need to be informed on everything that's going on in the world. You cannot paint this beautiful picture, because then when reality hits them, then they're really going to be mind-boggled and destroyed. You can't do that.
Yeah, and I just think history is really important to learn so we don't repeat mistakes. And when they introduced Red, I was really sad because the auction scene, regardless of the implications of it and the visualization, it was a fantastic scene. It meant a lot I know it meant a lot to everybody, and for them to kind of change it
to like an art auction
and introduce her as a pirate, I just don't know if that was the right way to go about it, because you really didn't change anything, you just changed the implications. Like, if Red had been one of the pirates joining along in an auction for like rum or something, I could understand that. But just don't try and just reskin how that. I still feel the auction scene there. It's just visually I don't see it, and I think from a business standpoint, Disney did the right move. Because a lot of people everybody's sensitive.
Everybody was sensitive about wenches, but to me at the same time, if you're a parent taking your kids there and you're bothered by that, your kids seeing that, just explain it to them. That's your job as a parent. Explain why that's going on. They're like, why are they selling women? What does wenches mean? Explain it. It's part of history. You can't make it go away.
And I watched a video on somebody asking how do you feel about the change back when it first got introduced, and the lady said, well, my daughter told me, am I going to be sold like that? And it just broke my heart, and it made me go to Disney and tell them why is this like this? And to me it's kind of well, instead of thinking your daughter's going to get sold, teach her this happened, this it happened, and unfortunately it still does happen.
But this is why you need to protect yourself. This is why you need to be aware of your surroundings.
This is how you can avoid, making any kind of mistake. I will show you, or I will teach you. You shouldn't have to have Disney teach your kids everything. And I don't know. They did add some really cool stuff, like the pirate that changes from a pirate into a skeleton, or a skeleton into a pirate. He touches the forbidden treasure. That is a really cool addition, and it's not kind of overlapping everything. Now, I think before, when the movies weren't out, I didn't see the movies before I rode the ride. When I was younger, I rode the ride first, so I knew that the movies were based on the ride. But I think a lot of people now, the newer generations, kind of see the movies and then go and ride the ride, and they're like, this isn't the same thing at all, and it's not supposed to be. But I guess, Disney is a business. At the end of the day, Disney is a business, so they have every right to do whatever they want. This is just our opinion on it.
They can simply give you anything, and they already know everybody's gonna eat it up because it has Disney's name on it.
Yeah.
That's just facts.
Yeah, so, I mean, we can be mad all we want. It doesn't change a thing. I just want to explain why, like, how I feel about it. Because it does kind of ruin it for me when they go and change every little thing because everybody's so offended by it. Like, we need to
Instead of getting offended by what Disney's doing, why don't you teach your kids?
Yeah.
Don't be lazy parents.
No. I think we should move on to California Adventure now. It's getting kind of heavy.
Sorry, can I just say one thing that I want them to fix about Pirates?
Yeah.
At the end, when everybody's stopping, and then you see the boat that's coming up that ramp, and you're like, oh god, it's gonna crash, and then everybody goes like this. Can they fix that, please?
I don't know if you can really. They'd have to have the boat on a track for that to like happen.
Why can't they just add more bumpers, or like the way they have it at Splash Mountain, where they have that riser that kind of lifts you out of the water for a little bit?
Yeah, I just think for handy-capable purposes, like, they can't really change anything because those handy-capable people need to, you know, load onto the ride too, and it's just a side effect of that, which, I don't know. I can see your point, though. It does hurt, like, especially
every
those
time
seats.
that happens, I'm like, oh my god, somebody's gonna sue for a motor vehicle accident.
Yeah, it is really bad. I think it's something we kind of have to live with the ride. Just, you know, you can't really change it like that. But I do see your point. So on to California Adventure. Go ahead.
I like the way we're doing top 5, but they barely have any rides.
I think they have 15?
Okay, well, number 5 for me has to be, I think, Goofy's Fly School. Because I think it is so terrifying, but it's so funny at the same time. Like, I'm so scared the entire time that I'm gonna, like, tip off of that track, and I'm like, how in the world is this little cart staying with like this much weight on this turn? It's just terrifying to me. That's why it's number 5. It's because it's thrilling because you're almost gonna die.
Yeah, I don't like that ride at all. I'm way too big to fit in that tiny car. Like, my knees touch my chest, and it's just bumping around like it's not fun for me. And the wait is always long.
Uh-uh.
I don't like that ride. So that's your number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me is Monsters, Inc. Again, Aaliyah and I do have a lot of memories on that ride. And I
picked me up with his mind powers and shook me like a dog.
And the reason why I picked it for number 5 is there's something magical about it with, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, the animatronics aren't the most advanced, but they do look really, really good.
2319! We got a 2319!
And if you didn't know, it used to be Superstar Limo back when California Adventure first opened. And one of the, I don't think they're called CDC, whatever they're called, the sanitation organization, one of them pops out of the truck with some brochures. And if you didn't know, that is Drew Carey from Superstar Limo when he's handing out pamphlets for like tours of Hollywood. If you didn't know.
I do.
Oh, well, if you didn't know.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
Now you do.
So that would be my number 5.
I thought that ride was also funny with you, though, because the first time we went on it was actually the first time I had ever gone on it. And I was like, this is cute. But, like, when I saw these scenes, like, going through, we were reciting the scenes at the same time, and I was like, what the heck? And, like, the little nerds, too, when you pass by the nerds, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh! I don't know, it's funny.
I guess that fits us perfectly. So what's your number 5?
That's
you said Goofy Sky School.
Number 4 for me has to be, I'm gonna say The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Actually, can I change it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say, if you put that at number 4, I'll be a little...
Okay, number 4 is gonna be, what's it called? The Rapids, the Bear
Grizzly River Rapids.
Grizzly River Rapids.
I think it's actually called Grizzly River Run.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Either way, I like that ride a lot.
That ride is fun. I think it's also funny though that we got stuck on there for like an hour in the sun. It was hot
and we were with a family. It was really awkward because it was a family of 4, and then 2 other girls, and then me and Aaliyah. And the girl at first, the little girl with the family, she was like, "Yeah, I want to ride this ride," and the son was really scared. He was really like, I don't want to be on here, Dad. Like, I just want to get off. And then as the sun moved over and time kind of shifted, the little boy was like, I'm excited to go on. And the little girl was like, I don't want to be here anymore.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was very funny.
I just like that ride too because you get so soaked. Again, I like water rides.
Yeah. That's your number 4? My number 4 is going to be...
Soarin'?
No. That's disrespect to put that low. I want to say this one, but I don't want to get flamed. I don't want to get cursed at. Number 4 for me is going to be Mission Breakout. I do like Mission Breakout. I don't like it as much as I like Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror's theming with like 1930s Hollywood and like bellhops and stuff. Oh, it was something so unique. I'm glad it's still at not Magic Kingdom. It's still at Hollywood Studios in Disney World, and I want to take you there one day to ride it.
Yeah, I've never been on it.
But Mission Breakout. I like the randomized drops, and I do like the in-between scenes. Again, I'm very nostalgic, and I hate when things leave and other things come in. Even you know, they're incredible things. I still think I have more of an attachment to the old things. So that's my number 4.
Okay, number 3 for me. I know you're gonna get sad, but it's Soarin'. Number 3, Soarin', because I don't know, I just think it's like such a well done ride. Like you really feel like you're flying through the sky. And then I like the way they do the whole scent, like in your face thing. You're like, grass.
I do think Soarin' is not for everybody. I think it's one of those rides where you have to like it to ride it. If not, you're not gonna. When I was a kid, it would like going up when you're going up for the fireworks at the end. It did used to make me sick.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm fine with it now, and I do like that ride. That's your number 3. Because guess what?
That's your number 3?
That's also my number 3. Soarin' Over the World is not as good as Soarin' Over California. The California one was incredible. You got to see orange groves and then the redwoods and the new one. Like I do like the Eiffel Tower. It's kind of funny when you're looking at the screen. It bends and it kind of leans. I do like seeing like the Taj Mahal and stuff, but I love California. I love it so much, and I love it
so much that I moved here.
I love the nature aspect of California, and they did it good with Over California. Soaring Around the World is not bad. It's not the original though.
Number 2 for me has to be the Incredicoaster. Only because I love roller coasters so much. I did not get to go on it when it was California Screaming, unfortunately, but I like The Incredibles, the first one, because of all the jazz music. I'm a band kid, so like that was something like I grew up with, and we would always talk about all the jazz music, because that music really made that movie.
Yeah.
And 100%. So like the fact that the music goes with the ride is just kind of like, I don't know, it like makes you feel it even more.
Yeah, no, I get you. So number 2 for me is California Screamin'. Again, I know I always pick rides that change. The original California Screamin' had something. I really think if Michael Eisner had done California Adventure correct, it could have been so much better, and they wouldn't have needed all these changes to it. I do like that they were trying to go for like they were celebrating California type vibe. I just don't think it was Disney enough for it to pass as like a Disney park. And of course now with Pixar Pier and stuff like that and all the changes, it will pass as a Disney park. But in the beginning, there was just something magical about California Screaming. You'd get on and you hear the kind of the old timey carnival music, and then as you went through, it was that like surf rock, and it didn't need any of the effects that the Incredicoaster has. Obviously, those effects are incredible. See what I did there? They're awesome, and I like seeing Violet and Mr. Incredible and Dash at the beginning when he goes 3, 2, 1, go, and you see him running next to you. I do like that. Don't get me wrong. I like the facade of the house, and then at the end, Jack is gigantic, and Edna's there. I do like it. I just less for me is more in this situation with a roller coaster. You can't really theme a roller coaster, and I think California Screaming was like the perfect thing. It had the music. It didn't need to be like something it wasn't. And they got rid of it. And I do like Pixar Pier. I just don't think I like it enough for them to change it. So
Number 1 for me. What do you know what number 1 is?
Toy Story Midway Mania?
No, that's an honorable mention. I'm still salty on that ride. And my arm always hurts after I get off. That and Guardians is honorable mentions because I got sick on Guardians one time. It was my own fault, but
I don't think I know your number 1. I know my number 1. This ride, if I don't get on when I go to California Adventure, I think it's a wasted day.
Number 1 for me is Cars.
See, that would be an honorable mention for me. I do love the ride. I just
like the immersive movie experience. And then I love driving. So that scene where you're like in the red rocks and you're like taking that curve, I'm like, if I was driving, I would be doing the same thing. And then it's just like fun. It's kind of thrilling to me because it feels faster than it actually is.
Yeah.
But also like I like the whole thrill of I want to beat the car that's next to me. So.
Yeah, I do love Cars Land. I like the walking down the street and like, you know, flows on the ride and it's very well themed. Radiator Springs Racers just is not one of my favorite rides. I would put it at 6. It's definitely in the top 10, but it's not touching the top 5 just because I hadn't, when it first, Cars Land was like, you know, it had just opened. I hadn't ridden it because the wait times were at the 200-minute marks.
Yeah, I rode it for the first time at my grad night because I think that's when it had opened in like 2013.
Yeah, I think 2012 it opened.
Oh, around there.
But the waits were so long for like 4 years. I couldn't get on that ride for 4 years because every time we'd go, we'd get up there and it'd be 180 minutes, 200 minutes, and I just can't justify for that ride waiting 200 minutes, especially since the queue is all like outside.
Yeah,
they do have that
hot.
Shaded indoor
Sheds.
part, but most of the time you're outside. The rock work does kind of hide the sun a little bit,
depending on the time of day.
Yeah, if you're going at high noon, you're screwed. And if it's at 200 minutes, you're going to be in the sun the whole time. Unless you're under the bridge or through the sheds, like you're not having fun. It is a good ride to ride at night. I love Cars Land at night. Oh, it's so good. The music also adds to it, but Radiator Springs Racers is not my favorite. My number 1, this ride, I would put it in contention for favorite ride at both parks.
I can't even think of what it is. Like, we basically named all the rides already.
So my number 1 at California Adventure is The Little Mermaid.
What?
That ride is... There's something about it. Even, I told my mom a couple years ago, I was like, we rode Little Mermaid, I think 3 times in the same day. And each time, I don't know, there's something about it. They do it so well. And you sit in the clamshell.
I think, okay, I need to comment on this now.
Okay.
I think when we went on it for the first time, like, together, it was hilarious how much tension there was, because that was the first ride I think we were more stuck together because of the shape of the clamshell.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a more personalized, like, enclosed space, and I was just like, oh my god, like, is he gonna try to hold my hand? And, like, this is like a kind of like a romantic, like, ride when they, like, you know, there you see her, la la la. And
if you think about it, the Omnimover for the Haunted Mansion doesn't have the, you know, the little curvatures and it's not made for like tall people. So of course my knees are stuck hitting the bars and I don't know. I really like the Little Mermaid. I love the music in it. The Ursula animatronic is incredible.
Ursula animatronic, that's my favorite part.
She is awesome.
Poor unfortunate soul.
Yes, and
in pain.
You feel it.
In need.
I don't remember what her name is. The lady who sings as Ursula, or as Ursula's voice actor.
Oh, I don't know.
But the sound design in the ride You feel like it's such a magical ride. For California Adventure, it really sticks out for me.
But yeah, those are our top favorite rides in both parks. If you disagree with us, sorry. If you agree with us, good on you.
Do you have any other like honorable mentions?
No, it's just food, but that's its own thing.
I think we should do a video on favorite Disneyland food.
Do you think we should do a video on favorite Disneyland food?
I think we should. I would like to mention Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah.
Jungle Cruise is probably in the top 10 somewhere. I also want to honorable mention Star Tours. If they got rid of the 3D glasses, that ride would be insane.
Yeah, I get kind of dizzy. I'm like...
Rides I would not include in like a favorite at all.
Nemo. Forget Nemo.
Yeah, the submarine voyage. I know everyone's gonna hate me. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I'll keep it. No. Oh, honorable mention Matterhorn. I forgot. I had it on my notes, and I forgot. Honorable mention Matterhorn. That ride is awesome.
Get rid of Small World.
That's a hot take. That's a really hot take. I would say Small World's definitely not in my favorites, like at all, anywhere. I don't know if I would get rid of it. The historical
I know why you like
resemblance
it so much.
is what I like, because it was shown at the World's Fair. But
it's just racist.
Oh, honorable mention.
I said it's racist and you yell honorable mention?
No.
Oh.
Honorable mention is Roger Rabbit's cartoon
I knew
spin.
you were gonna say that.
I completely forgot about Toontown because they're adding.
So does everybody.
I like Toontown. Everybody hates Toontown. I don't know why. Is it just because it's back there?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of tucked away.
They're adding Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I think Toontown's really gonna, start getting more attention.
And then there's gonna be more fights.
I'm gonna take you to Toontown. That's it from us. Whatever you want to see, let us know down below. We do have a lot of new videos coming out.
A lot.
It's taking time to accumulate all of it. Since Aaliyah works, we can't really be pooping out videos. But if you want to see anything else, let us know. We'll do literally anything. I think we want to do.
We already have from some of our subs, our favorite subs, I would say. A lot of suggestions. We just have to get around to it again. I'm always tired from coming from work. It's really exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
I really try to push through it. I mean, I'm still physically tired right now, even though I'm off today, but I need a full day to rest to feel good.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know what else. I'm not good at intros. I'm still not good at outros. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, thanks for joining us. Hope you agreed or disagreed. Like, subscribe, comment below, share us with your friends and family, and
that's it.
That's it.
Follow us on Instagram. It's at The Imagination Station.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
And buy Halloween merch because it's coming up.
Ooh, we'll have some Halloween videos coming out too. So. Spooky, scary skeletons.